Pricing College with your hosts Joanna Wells
and Aidan Campbell. In today's episode, we're going to cover that most fundamental or maybe most famous pricing technique or strategy, the magic number, such as 99 cents, 90 cents, or something like that.
For the prices out there, this is an important topic for everyone, not just consumers, because often, you do a lot of work on figuring out price ranges, price bandwidths, and then often the afterthought of, okay, what is the actual price going to be? What should it look like is an afterthought and often rushed through. So we think it's an important concept for both consumers and pricing professionals.
That's right. So, this may be old hat for some of the more expert listeners, but I think for the more general listener, it could be quite interesting. There is a lot of literature, probably more literature than any other area in pricing, on does 99 cents and magic numbers, do they actually work? We've gone through some of the literature, and like anything in academics, there's pros and cons. Fundamentally, what we're talking about is charging, either say $1 for a product or 99 cents for a product. There's many reasons why this may have grown, why this habit may have appeared to begin with. Some of what we've read is that initially it started to stop theft in shops. So when you went in to buy a product for $1, the shopkeeper or the shop attendant could just take that dollar and pocket it themselves. If it was 99 cents, they had to open the till, give you change of a cent, and it was a much more safe mechanism for the shop. Obviously, then there's a lot more research about whether or not there are psychological aspects for the number.
Yeah, and in terms of the psychological aspects, that means, how our brains think when we look at numbers, how we process those numbers, what we like and what our brain doesn't like. And apparently, we like the 99 cents. Why? Well, I think it's because, according to research, when you put the 99 cents there, it increases demand, people buy more, but it also has the effect of reducing the size of the number of the price. So it actually makes the price seem cheaper, and the brain processes the 99 cents quicker and also rounds down the number at the left. It rounds it down. So it could be round it down by 10, it could round it down by $1, but whatever, it reduces the price, even though the price is roughly the same. So for instance, $4.99, the brain would reduce it down to say $4, but if you have it at a price point at $5, the brain goes, oh, that's expensive. And there's a psychological threshold between the two.
We still see this approach being used, even though the original mechanical, version of the cents, the change, the till, all that is really expired. But we now still see it in iTunes, where you can buy songs for 99 cents. Obviously, Spotify's coming to hurt that, but you can still buy songs for 99 cents. You can see it on Kindle, where there are specials for 99 cents. So it still is being very prominently used by major tech companies, where really there's no mechanical reason for it. So it must be, or clearly it's a psychological aspect. Some of the literature, I think some of the best literature in the market is from the University of Chicago and MIT over a period of years, which really did look into it and did show statistical evidence that people did view that putting a 9 at the end could boost sales. And as Joanna said, it could make people see the prices lower. There's even some evidence that putting a price at 39 could even sell more than something at 34, because even the number 9 insinuated somewhere psychologically that it was better value.
Yeah, so in terms of, the price for 99, I think it's important to say there's alternative research that shows, yes, you can have 99 on the right, but that's not enough. You've got to think at the digits on the left, because the digits on the left can potentially anchor the eye and the customer to buy more or less. So it's important to have your whole price positioned correctly. And especially when you're comparing one price, say the retail price with a discount price. For instance, don't just have 80.49 and then 80.29. It's better to have 79.99 versus 80, for instance. That's what the brain likes. It likes that odd and even difference, so it can make the contrast. And I think there's an important thing here. odds and evens. The brain thinks of odds as sort of in some way reducing. It reduces the price. It thinks of it as cheaper. Whereas the whole number, it thinks of it as more expensive. So what you'll find is that sort of more luxury products will have that whole number. It won't round down. It won't go down to like 99 because that insinuates cheap. It insinuates a sale there's been prior sales on the price point. And there's some kind of gating process here when you have a whole number that they don't want to be considered as cheap. So they keep it at that sort of rounded whole number. And that's important for the brain. The brain then, as a consumer, you think, okay, this is something good versus something cheap. And this is all called price signaling.
I think that really is clear. A lot of the academic evidence does suggest that when people see any within 99 or 98, it insinuates it's been reduced. There's also evidence that some of this started in American department stores, before pre-World War II, when full price items were sold at a flat dollar, or $5, and then discounted were sold at 98 cents, almost as a ticketing system to indicate to the shopkeepers themselves that it was discounted. But there is academic evidence that people see 99 cents as a discounted price that will then psychologically take away that luxury aspect. The other thing I always think is a lot of times when you're shopping, specifically for non-essential items, you try to justify to yourself that you're getting a better deal. So, if you weren't supposed to buy something and someone asks how much did that cost, rather than saying $5, you might just say $4 if it was $4.99.
And just little techniques like, the size of the actual price. Research shows that, if it's an expensive price, make the number smaller. If you're discounting off the retail price, make the discount bigger. So you're drawing attention to the discount. Other people argue the reverse. They say, actually, if you want to show the extent of the discount, the value that somebody's getting from that discount, what you should do is increase the size of the original price and make the actual discounted price smaller. It depends. There's research for both, but the size of the price and what you're trying to do is very important. And this comes down to sales and pricing execution. For instance, when you see one of those for sale sale boards put out in a shop front with 50% off, and be very clear with the sizing of that 50% off. Don't have contrary sort of double offers on one board, and make sure that your call to action is very clear and concise, no longer than 7 words. Again, research shows that consumers will ignore a long call to action and will only take action when the action is clear and concise and they know what they need to do. So make sure that everything on that sale board is in line with the research, the psychological research on pricing, magic numbers, and literally this all comes down to human processing, how we think about numbers, what we remember, what takes our attention.
That's it for me today. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks a lot.